to the Ungovernables, the Captain Street, the LFA family, McGraw Nation, coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned on this Friday. We have to call it Friday of Color. Think about it. Friday of Color. That's what we have to say because you can't say Black Friday anymore. It's a nasty thing. They say it's a nasty thing to say. You can't say Black Friday. All right, here we go. We got a lot to do today. We're going to do calls second half of the show again. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. I'm still half asleep. I'm sorry.
Me too. I just waltzed right in. Waltzed right in here.
Listen, Tylenol PM last night for a headache. So it's, the grog is real. We're going to shake off the grog, but we're also going to be very animated this morning because I think it's time to ask a very serious question and move in a very serious direction, okay? It is time to end. No more asylum for anybody else in the world. But what are you going to do with the people who are fleeing political persecution? I don't care. That may sound cold.
We got political persecution here.
What job is it? No, look, can someone please...
Oh, Seth, in international law, that countries have to accept refugees.
And there's like 30 or 40 countries that don't abide by that nonsense, and I think we should be another one of them that does it. Think of this. What job? Where? Someone point to me where. It is the job, the duty, the responsibility of the United States. Someone point to me where it is the job, the duty, the responsibility of the United States to take in all of these people fleeing political persecution in their country. It's not our job. Is it my job to let the homeless sleep in my house? No, it's not. I'm sorry you're having a bad situation. But we got a bad situation here too. I'm sorry that things are haywire in your country. I am. I don't want to see people suffer. But we got to be realistic about this now. It is not our job, period. Sean, that's really cold. Then I'm really cold. Yeah, you sound heartless. Maybe I do. I don't care about these people. I don't want to see them suffer, but at the same time, it's not our job to bring them in. Well, it sounds racist. Where would you accept? I don't want to accept refugees from anywhere. I don't care if it's from Poland, Ukraine, the United Kingdom, Somalia, Afghanistan, Pakistan, or your sister's Assistan. I don't care where they're from. Nobody else can come in. That's it. Okay? I don't know how hard this is to understand. But what about? Stop with the whatabouts. We're closed. We're full. When a hotel has no vacancies, they can't accept anybody else to give them a room. We are full. There are 50 million people in this country, according to the census. 50 million people that don't belong here. How the hell are we going to accept anyone else? You want to know why the cost of housing is so damn high? Because the demand is high, because there's a bunch of people in this country who don't belong in the country. Guys, when we do calls the second half of the show, and if I had a more advanced system, I'd be able to do this. You know, if there is an argument for continuing to allow asylum seekers to come to the United States, I want to hear it. Now, the way our calls work is it's first come, first serve. If you're calling, then, and you get through, it's because your number popped up and I pressed the little green button on my screen, okay? If I had a more advanced system and, an army of 20 running the show instead of an army of 2 running the show, we could set up a screener, and if someone calls, they can go to the front of the line on the queue, and we can't. If there is an argument for letting the asylum process continue, please try and tell me, or said so, say so in the chat. Steve Mod 52. I don't give a damn a Stan. That's where I'm from. I don't give a Stan. It's not just the Islamic countries too. I'm like, oh yeah, we could bring them in from the white. No. We have no room. No room means no room. I don't care where you come from. Germany. I don't care if you're seeking asylum from Australia. You can't. We're full. We're just full. Nobody. Not just, oh, look, there's this country in Africa that we don't want. No. Nobody else. Nobody else. That's it. That's it. And it looks like Donald Trump, who called Tim Walz retarded yesterday, which is just, okay, fine. I'm fairly certain that that's a well-established fact. Donald Trump has kind of signaled the same thing. And I want to, look, I'm very supportive of the president. I am happy to hear him say this. But, I mean, for the love of this country, can we please see some follow-through on this, okay? I don't care about anything else. My number one issue going into, and I'm different than everybody. I get it. Some people are like, well, I want the arrests and I want this and I want that. And I want those things too. But my number one issue, I'm not a single issue voter, but on my list of priorities was immigration. And it has been since 2016. So I've been very consistent for the last 10 plus years. Okay. Donald Trump says the following: even as we have progressed technologically, immigration policy has eroded those gains and living conditions for many. I will permanently pause migration from all. Permanently pause, by the way, is an oxymoron. If it's a pause, you're unpausing at some point. No, just permanently end. I'm splitting hairs, but you know what he's saying. I believe it's what he's saying. I will permanently pause migration, or maybe he should say indefinitely pause migration from all third world countries. How about just all countries? To allow the U.S. system to fully recover, terminate all the millions of Biden illegal admissions, including those signed by Sleepy Joe Biden's auto pen, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States or is incapable of loving our country. End all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens of our country. Yes, across the board. Denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility. Yes, across the board. And deport any foreign national who is a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. Yes, across the board. These goals will be pursued with the aim of achieving a major reduction in the illegal and disruptive populations, including those admitted through an unauthorized and illegal auto pen approval process. Only reverse migration can fully cure this situation. Other than that, happy Thanksgiving to all, except those that hate, steal, murder, and destroy everything that America stands for. You won't be here for long. This needs to be this now. I don't want to see permanent pause. I don't want to see words and no action. I want to see hundreds of thousands of denaturalizations, deportations, and reverse migrations over the course of the next 6 to 12 months. It has to happen because you have a member of our National Guard who is now dead because some Aloha snack bar disgusting refugee from Afghanistan shot and killed her. The other one is still fighting for his life. Enough. How much more do we need? Oh, immigrants make our nation stronger. For who? Not for us. Oh, we're a country of immigrants. Okay, we may have been, If, by the way, if your DNA doesn't come from indigenous people, like Chief Golden Eagle, indigenous people, we love the indigenous people, then everybody here is the descendant of some immigrant, right? Like on one half of my family came from Europe and Turkey, and that's where my name comes from. Someone told me, you sound like an Arab. I said, well, I don't sound like, my last name has Turkish origins. Yes, for sure. Yeah. One half of my family is like right out of Italy, off the boat. The other half from, Europe and
Farish does get weird looks. I was signing up the other day.
She signed up for something. They
were like, Farish?
Brennan's as white as a snowflake.
I was like,
what do you think?
It's okay. I'm safe. I promise.
She's not wearing a
It's
thing
through
on her
marriage.
head.
My husband might be a little wacko,
Yeah.
but I'm fine.
And I might be on a no-fly list for other reasons, but not because of my last name, okay? Now, I'm the least of your problem on an airplane now. I smell good. How many people on airplanes smell like dog crap?
All
I mean, it's
of
just
them.
Unbelievable. Could you put
Sweat.
How about deodorant? How about that?
Onions.
Okay? Onions. I mean, I can't take
There
it.
should be a sniff test before anybody's allowed on an airplane.
But there's a lot of people who are alive today whose ancestors came off of a boat, came to America. That's a different type of immigrant than we have now. Those people came here to build something. The people who are coming here now are coming here to get something. No more. No more. We're full. I'm sorry. We're full. It's not even about, it is the reaction now. The focus on it is because of what happened to 2 National Guard soldiers. 100%. 100%. That's why we're having the conversation now so passionately, right? But I mean, let's be honest. This has been the truth for a while. We are full. We can't take anymore, even if we wanted to. And the whole country was like, let's just do what the Statue of Liberty says, which, by the way, send it back to France, would we please? Mom Donnie's going to stick a burqa on it anyway. Send the Statue of Liberty back to France. Well, give us your tired and your needy and your huddled How about you take your tired and your needy and your huddled masses and go huddle in someone else's country, because we have no more room for you to huddle here. I'm sorry. I wish we could help. We can't. The left is like, oh, the Statue of Liberty. Is the Statue of Liberty a governing document? Can you cite the Statue of Liberty as some sort of legal immigration statute that we have to abide by? The answer is no. It's a statue. You people like tearing statues down anyway. And again, the guy who eats with his hands, who probably penetrates goats, who's going to wind up the mayor of New York City. Yeah, I said that. I really don't care. Okay? He's going to stick a burqa on the Statue of Liberty anyway. That sounds racist. Maybe it is. Maybe it's an insensitive thing to say. What I know is that one of our soldiers is dead because one of his people came here and shot her in the head. You're dealing with an absolute revolution in Dearborn, Michigan. You've got Somalians faking autism and a scheme going on in Minnesota, sending money to terror groups. Why do we need any more? We just don't. That's the point. We just don't. And I'm not the only person who's this frustrated. I know that for a fact. This is the way. Anybody who's here, asylum seeker, just go away. Go away. All right. We're going to get to more AV 1965. I don't give a Friday. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Asylum seekers, here you go. Get out. All right, let's get to a word from our friends over at OFP Farms. We'll get to a bunch more. I got a bunch of video from yesterday and a whole lot to get to. We'll do calls second half. And again, it's open to everybody. I really want to hear the argument for keeping the asylum process, but let me ask you a question, and everybody's welcome. 631-527-4545 when we start taking calls around the 45-minute mark. Do you think we should end the asylum process? Do you think there should be any exceptions?
It appears everybody's completely in agreement with
and
you.
I'm not going to, it's not one of those things if you call and you're like, yeah, I think we should have an, and then I'm going to scream at you. You know, that's not what's going to happen. But let's talk about that in about a half hour. All right. Before we do that, let's get to a word from our friends over at OFP Farms. It's OFPFarms.com, OFPFarms.com. Exciting news, you guys. Exciting news. Black Friday, you know we call it. What do we call it? We call it Friday of Color. It's a tremendous thing. Friday of Color is it's a wonderful holiday. Black Friday. Think about it. Exciting update from OFP Farms. Holiday gift sets are now available. This holiday season, OFP Farms has assembled a wide variety of gift sets that are ready for shipping. Famous for their exceptional gift sets, and they have plenty to choose from and fit the budget. But that's not all. The biggest news is that they are offering 30, not 10, not 20, not 25, 30% off for Friday of Color, Black Friday. And that sale's been going on for about a week. Things are flying off the shelves there. Load up on Christmas gift sets, gifts for her, wellness boxes, beard and bath sets. Hurry over right now to OFP, Oscar, Foxtrot, PapaFarms.com. Stock is limited, and once certain gift sets are gone, that's it. They're gone. They won't be restocked. OFPFarms.com, promo code Sean, SHAWN, for your 30% discount. That's OFP, Oscar, Foxtrot, Papa. OFPFarms.com, promo code Sean, OFPFarms.com, promo code SHAWN for 30% off. The gift sets are amazing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tease you right now. Oh. I have the gift set, one of them, and I'm just going to look at it. And are you kidding me? Oh, yeah, you're going to need this. Wow. Oh, look at that soap. That's going to smell good. Okay. All right. Oh, what's this one here? What flavor is this? Goat Kisses. We got the Goat Kisses lip balm. Oh, yeah. All right. OFPFarms.com. Use the promo. I know you hate me for that. Show us! Order it. OFPFarms.com. Use the promo code Sean, SHAWN. I'll show you on Monday, on Cyber Monday. That's the day the sale ends. OFPFarms.com, promo code SHAWN. Now that was a world class tease, wasn't it? People are going to start
was
throwing.
pretty good.
People are going to start throwing dollars so they could see me take the
Dollar bills,
take
y'all.
take the box. All right, OFP Farms, Oscar Foxtrot, PapaFarms.com. All right, next up, a word from our friends over at Silent, SLNT.com. Promo code SHAWN. Sean, it's a Black Friday on Silent.com too. Here you go, SLNT.com. Let's face it, your phone is a tracking device. Between government agencies, big tech, corporate data brokers, even cyber criminals, they're all fighting for a piece of your digital footprint, and they're not asking. They just go on and take it. That is why Silent exists. Silent makes Faraday gear that blocks all wireless signals, including cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, RFID, and near-field communications. No signal means no tracking, no remote access, and no breadcrumbs. This is the same technology trusted by special operations teams worldwide, used to block signals, avoid surveillance, and secure communications wherever the mission leads. And right now, all that is available to you to protect your family, protect your freedom, and secure your digital footprint. To strap your phone in a silent Faraday sleeve, and it is off the grid, completely silent and invisible to the outside world. From their backpacks to their sleeves to their crossbodies, Silent's patented technology gives you control of your privacy. Visit slnt.com/Sean, SHAWN, to get 15% and free shipping on qualifying offers and orders. slnt.com/Sean. Protect your rights, secure your data, and stay one step ahead. Silent, slnt.com. Silence the chaos and go silent today. slnt.com/SHAWN. Check it out. You got those Black Friday promo codes off to the right as well, so you can save a ton over at slnt.com/SHAWN. All right, on to, as we continue here, let's get into what happened. Obviously, National Guard member Sarah Beckstrom passed away yesterday. Her father came out and had mentioned that that she had a mortal wound. She was not going to make a full recovery. Heartbreaking, as a member of the West Virginia National Guard, did not have to lose her life, and she did because of an Afghan refugee that was let in under Joe Biden and then filed for asylum in 2024. And yes, it was this administration. I have to call it, call a spade and be fair here. It was this administration who signed off on his asylum request, but his request was put into the queue in 2024. Let's actually going to go a little out of order here, but I want to go to this article. It is from CBS. We take CBS with a grain of salt, but I read through it last night and it seems pretty fair. So let's get to this. We'll get to this article. What we know about the shooter, Lackenwall. His name was Ramanullah Ramanullah Lackenwall
God bless
has been identified as the shooter in the ambush attack that killed one National Guard member and wounded another just blocks away from the White House. The CIA said on Thursday that Lackenwall previously worked with the United States government, including the CIA, as a member of a partner force in Kandahar that ended in 2021 following the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. The suspect was shot by another Guard member and taken... No, it was not shot by another Guard member. It was shot... This is wrong. Unless they mean shot next to another Guard member. That's what that probably means. Another Guard member did not... Nobody in the National Guard did not shoot each other. Was shot near another Guard member, I guess we could say, and taken into custody. He is currently hospitalized. Oh, the suspect was shot by another Guard member. Yes. Okay. The suspect. I read that wrong. I told you I'm still a little tired.
That's that turkey fog.
The suspect, right, the shooter, was shot by another Guard member and taken into custody. Yes. He is currently hospitalized. No other suspects have been identified in connection with the shooting. Multiple law enforcement sources told CBS. Lackenwall, 29 years old. By the way, the Guard member who passed away was only 20 years old. Very sad. Entered the United States, Lackenwall, the terrorist, in 2021. Kristi Noem said on X that the suspect was paroled into the United States on September 8th under a Biden-era program for Afghan nationals called Operation Allies Welcome. That's right. You're all welcome here. Come on in. If you call yourself an ally, we must take you in. I don't understand why no more. If the process isn't ended tomorrow, I guess it takes a long time to get it ended, blah, 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 blah. No more asylum. President Trump described him as a foreigner who entered our country from Afghanistan, a hellhole on earth, in a video message late on Wednesday. He said the suspect's status was extended under legislation signed by Biden. A Department of Homeland Security official told CBS the suspect was paroled into the U.S. on humanitarian grounds. Again, it's nice to want to be nice to people, but when we're full, we're full. Because now it's at the detriment of your people. The main legal mechanism of the Biden administration used to welcome tens of thousands of Afghan evacuees after the Taliban takeover in August of 2021. Lachenwall later applied for asylum with U.S. citizenship and immigration services in 2024, and his application was granted in 2025, the DHS official said, but his request for a green card, which is tied to the asylum grant, is pending. Many of the Afghan nationals who were admitted into the United States in 2021 were issued special immigration visas offered to those who worked alongside the military during its 20-year war, while others were given a temporary humanitarian status known as parole. More than 8,000 people from Afghanistan were also granted deportation relief under a separate program called TPS, Temporary Protected Status, which Biden extended in 2023, but Trump chose to end earlier this year. Get them all out. Get them all out. Here is, do you remember the Afghanistan withdrawal in 2021 where they told us, oh, it's, the Taliban, they're nice people now. And we're going to bring in these refugees from Afghanistan. They want to assimilate here. Remember when Jen Psaki also said that they were vetting everybody? Remember this?
You've talked about this a little bit, others have as well, but there are, of course, concerns among lawmakers, experts who've tracked this. We're saying previous arrivals of large numbers of refugees from different parts of the world, inevitably there may be a small handful who are eventually deemed a security risk of some kind. What reassurances can you make about the screening process and the attempts to make sure that somebody like that doesn't make his or her way here?
I can absolutely assure you that no one is coming into the United States of America who has not been through a thorough screening and background check process. And there are many individuals, as you noted, who have not been through that process, and they have gone to lily pad countries as that process has been completed. It doesn't mean that that's because there's a flag. It means they have not completed their paperwork, and we were working to save tens of thousands of people. Hence, we evacuated them to these third countries.
I used to think Jen Psaki was a stupid person, but then putting her next to, seeing that versus what we got with Karine Jean-Pierre, Jen Psaki is certainly not a dumb person. She was actually good at her job. I didn't like her. She's the ain't no circle back girl, right? I'm going to have to circle back to that. But she was a lot better than Karine Jean-Pierre. I don't like to compliment her, but hey, it's true. When you compare the two, Karine Jean-Pierre blamed Biden's debate performance on jet lag and a cold when he spent 7 days in the exact same time zone. And, excuse me, there you go. Jen Psaki talking about lily pad countries. That's where they should all go, by the way. Send them to lily pads. Just put them anywhere but the United States of America. Anywhere but the United States of America. Here is Donald Trump. Donald Trump was very upset yesterday. And he should be very upset yesterday. He should have been very upset. He should be upset today, too. And tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, until this is solved. He should be very upset. It's time to go on the warpath. Listen, we can have conversations about optics and political correctness. And I don't care about the optics at this point. I don't care about the optics. And you know what? If it comes back to bite us in the midterms and getting rid of all of these third world rejects is the reason why people are motivated to vote against Trump in the midterms, I don't care because they're still gone. Optics don't matter to me. Political correctness doesn't matter to me. And being nice does not matter to me in this case. We cannot accept any more. No more. And those who are here, I'm sorry. Yes, I get it. One bad apple doesn't spoil the whole bunch, but it really kind of does. When you buy a bag of produce and you see one rotten piece, do you want to eat the rest of them? No. You probably throw away the whole bag. There's nothing wrong with that. You're trying to stay safe. Joe Biden, let in these Afghans. Donald Trump had some remarks for that yesterday. Listen to this.
Why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let them in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person.
Time out. I think I may have to clip that. You're just asking questions because you're a stupid person. I think I'm going to have to start playing that clip when Candace says something dumb. But I'm just asking questions. You're just asking questions because you're a stupid person. You listen to the whole thing again.
Why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let them in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person. And there's a law passed that it's almost impossible not to get them out. You can't get them out once they come in. And they came in, and they were unvetted, they were unchecked, there were many of them, and they came in on big planes, and it was disgraceful. And if you look, you'll see there was a law passed. It makes it almost impossible not to let them in, not to certify them, so to speak, once they come in. And they came in, and they shouldn't have come in. And frankly, the whole thing was a mess. The whole Afghanistan situation was a mess. It should have never taken place. If we're going to go out, and we would have gone out because I had everybody ready to go, we were going to go out with strength and dignity and precision, and we would have left from Bagram, and we would have kept Bagram, by the way, because of its very close relationship to China and where they make their missiles. But when you let the people come in by the thousands and thousands and thousands, they made a terrible mistake. But they were incompetent, yeah.
Here's another comment from Donald Trump talking about, because someone asked him, well, what about the ones who aren't terrorists? And I've had enough, and I'm sure he's had enough. I've had enough of that talking point, right? Well, you can't get rid of all of them. They're not all bad. Oh, but you could take all of our guns, right? Whoa. Time out. Offense. Okay? So you can disarm every American, right? Everyone. You got to turn in your guns because there are some bad guys with guns, right? Do you see where I'm going with this? Just like the cops. All cops. ACAB, right? Remember, all cops are bastards? Remember that? Because maybe one cop is a dirty cop, another cop is a dirty cop. That means all the cops are bad. They're all pigs. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. So the left has no problem painting all of us with a broad brush. None. Right? Disarm. Everyone's got to turn their guns in. Because bad guys wind up with guns. What about the good guys with guns? It doesn't matter. It's for the greater good. Turn them in. But when you have actual terrorist attacks happening on American soil from illegal aliens, remember the guy in Colorado who lit Jewish people on fire? He was Egypt, right? Remember the guy, was it, New Year's Day there was an attack in New Orleans? An ISIS guy? How about all the needless and the endless death on the roadways now? Because you've got illegal aliens driving trucks, driver's licenses, being brought in, given these licenses even though they're not citizens, even though they can't speak the language. Here, listen to this one. Donald Trump, again, this is the attitude we need, and this can't fade. You know what happens all the time? It's like we get mad for a day, and then it's like, whatever, we'll go focus on... No. This has to be issue number one. Yes, I'm sorry, Groypers. This has to be issue number one, not the country that you're obsessed with. I'm obsessed with America. You're obsessed with Israel, you bunch of morons. That's what you are. That's what they are. They're Israel first. But they don't like to admit it, the Groypers. They're Israel first. They're Israel first. Because the very first thing they bring up all the time is Israel, right? We got to close the border. What about Israel? Shut the front door. Yes, close the border. That means everybody, it's shut. We're full. All right. Here, listen to these comments, Donald Trump. I don't like these talking point that these people come up. Well, there's, some of them. What about the people that are here for a better life? They got to go too. Sorry. Yes, one bad apple did spoil the bunch. Listen.
You've made changes for Afghanis' ability to apply for asylum. Do you blame all Afghans for this one man not
No, but we've had a lot of problems with Afghans because they had a lot of them coming in on these planes. Again, I show you this picture. We had a lot of them coming in on these planes that are, look at them. There was no checking. They just poured into the plane. And many of these people are criminals. Many of these people are people that shouldn't be here. And many of them have been gotten out. I mean, we've gotten out a lot of the people that, we've taken a lot of them out of here. But they came in. Yeah, I know the old story. Many are wonderful. Yeah, I'm sure.
I said many are here legally, though. What should they think in terms of their prospects?
Well, they can't be happy.
Did you hear that? Let's go back one more time.
And many of them have been gotten out. I mean, we've gotten out a lot of the people that, we've taken a lot of them out of here. But they came in. Legally, right? Yeah, I know the old story. Many are wonderful. Yeah, I'm sure.
I said many are here legally, though. What should they think in terms of their prospects?
Well, they can't be happy. Okay, they can't be happy because what's taking place between that. If you look at Somalia, they're taking over Minnesota, and we got a lot of problems with the gangs, with all of the things taking place in Minnesota. We have an incompetent governor, We have a dope governor. They can't be happy about what's going on. And if you talk about the Afghans, there's a problem because so many Bedouins came in on the planes. They just walked in. Whoever the strongest people were physically in a way, but whoever the strongest, they got on the planes. There was no checking. They just swamped the planes. They took off. We had no idea who they were.
I'm tired of hearing the whole thing about, there are a lot of good ones. What are they? But really, are they good? They may be, they may be good people. But if I go to I'm a good person, I like to think. If I go to a hotel late at night, I'm looking for a room and there's no vacancies, I go, but I'm a good person. You have to let me sleep here. Yes, sir, but we don't have space for you. Yeah, but I'm good. I know you're good, but I don't have space for you. Yeah, but I'll clean the toilets. That's great. You'll clean the toilets, but we don't have room for you. You have to go somewhere else. Why can't we run our country like a Hilton? There's no room. Go away. I'm sorry, sir. We're going to have to ask you to leave. And if you don't leave by yourself, we're going to have to force you to leave. It's time to force a bunch of these people to leave. All right. Quick break. We're going to start calls in a second. I've got a little bit more I want to get to over the course of this one. But first, a word from our friends over at Old Glory Bank. It is oldglorybank.com. Oldglorybank.com. This is your favorite president. And I'm here to tell you about Old Glory Bank. They're the premier bank for faith and freedom. You've heard me talk about how the big crooked banks debanked me and our beautiful First Lady following the rigged election in 2020. Thankfully, there is a bank that loves your favorite president as much as I do, which is a lot. There's not a lot of people who love me as much as I love me, I can tell you. Old Glory Bank does, though. They don't debank Americans who love their country and honor their Constitution. That is right, everybody. You've heard me talk about Old Glory Bank before. Old Glory Bank is America's best online bank that serves customers and small businesses in all 50 states. I'm a customer. My wife is also a customer. They have everything you need to bank online, including free accounts, free overdraft protection, early direct deposit, home loans, VA loans, and business loans. That is why Old Glory Bank quickly grew from $10 million to over $225 million in deposits. Your money is your business. Open an account today in minutes at oldglorybank.com and join the right side of banking. Oldglorybank.com, oldglorybank.com. If you're down with OGB, head over to oldglorybank.com and open a free account today. Next up, I love these guys. Captain Shitties. I had some salsa yesterday watching some of the football games. Captain Shitties. It was so good. We've got an empty jar right now. There it is. Captain Shitties salsa, ladies and gentlemen. Captain Shitties Southwest salsa is not just a dip. It is a high seas adventure for your taste buds. Avast ye landlubbers, the captain bellows from inside the jar. Inside treasure awaits a booty of bold jalapenos, swashbuckling onions, and a gold mine of ripe tomatoes. This chunky, briny concoction is rumored to be forged from salvaged doubloons and pirate tears. One taste and you'll be singing shanties and walking the plank for more. It's got a spicy swagger that would make Blackbeard blush and a tangy zest. Dive in if you dare to Captain Shitty's Liquid Gold. Captain Shitty's offers a bootylicious two-pronged attack on hunger with this legendary Southwest salsa. Go to CaptainShitties.com, CaptainShitties.com, Shitties, SCHIDDYS. You see it on your screen, right? CaptainShitties.com, and you can order the shittiest salsa, and I say that in a good way, shittiest, SCHIDDIEST. Can you use it in a sentence? Yes, it is the best. The shitty with D's, shittiest salsa in the game. CaptainShitties.com, CaptainShitties.com. And by the way, if if you didn't already know, we talked about this a couple days ago. Was it Wednesday? They're running a giveaway in a contest, I believe, $200 gift cards. They're giving out two $100 gift cards, not $200 gift cards, two $100 gift cards right now with this promotion at CaptainShitties.com. And that promotion ends on Cyber Monday. So two $100 gift cards as part of the Black Friday special. All you've got to do to be entered is make a purchase. Now, the amount of items in your purchase is the amount of entries in the contest. So if you order 6 items on one purchase, that is 6 entries. All right. So go to CaptainShitties.com. If you want an additional entry, you could like their Facebook page and share it as well. All Captain Shitty merchandise right now at the website is 30% off, shirts, hats, etc. That is CaptainShitties.com, CaptainShitties.com. Get in on that contest. Ends on Cyber Monday. Get in on that contest today. Made in Michigan, Captain Shitties. Made in Michigan, okay? I got the jar right there. Distributed by TGIF South LLC. 182 South Washington Street, Constantine, Michigan, 49042, CaptainShitty.com.
Michigan, not Michigan.
Michigan, not Michigan. And you know what's best about this salsa? It doesn't get watery. Like the store-bought stuff, after you open it, there's a puddle in there. That doesn't happen with this stuff, okay? There's no preservatives added. It's all good. It's all good stuff. So check it out, CaptainShitties.com. Okay. Donald Trump again saying we need to have control of who comes into our country. Listen.
As you may know, DHS has confirmed that the suspect is an Afghan national flown here by the previous administration, who was such a bad administration. And I have a picture of a plane. This is what it looked like when they came in. It was total bedlam. Do you remember that period of time? Total bedlam. People crammed onto the plane, and the toughest, meanest, most capable physically got on the plane, not the people that we were looking for or that they wanted to bring in. Here's a picture for you. Just take a look at that plane, standing on top of each other and sitting on top of each other. This is what we had under the Biden administration. That whole thing should have never, ever happened. They should have left from a different base. They should have left from Bagram, as you know, and it would have been a much different story. But they didn't do that, and this was just a rout, just a terrible situation. This heinous atrocity reminds us that we have no greater national security priority than ensuring that we have full control over the people that enter and remain in our country. For the most part, we don't want them. They come in illegally. Have a lot of problems. Their countries force them in because their countries are smart. They don't want them. Let's give them to the Americans to take care of. They come out of jails in many cases, mental institutions. They're gang members. They're drug dealers.
We got to have control over the people who come into our country, period, end of story. There's nothing racist about that. People are like, Donald Trump is racist. He's doing the travel ban again. We're full. Now, I heard people citing, and even Trump said there was a law that was in the way of getting rid of these people quickly, and part of that. There's also, and I went back and forth with AI over this, so take it for what it's worth, because AI is sometimes wrong. Although, I asked this question: do countries have to allow for asylum seekers to come across their borders? Countries do not have to let people enter illegally, but once a person reaches the border and claims asylum under the 1951 Refugee Convention and 1967 Protocol, which most Western nations, including the United States, follow, countries must allow a person to request asylum and not send them back to danger. This applies when a person enters legally or illegally and immediately requests asylum. Countries can regulate how asylum is requested. Now, I said this. What countries don't follow these laws? Let's think about this. So there's a bunch of countries that didn't sign on to this. You ready for them? Ironically, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, Jordan, Lebanon, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Indonesia, Vietnam, North Korea, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Belarus, Mongolia, and a few others. These states may accept refugees selectively, but they're not legally bound by the convention's procedures. Very interesting. Most of them are Muslim countries, aren't they? Right? Interesting. So they can export their people all around the world, but they will not take refugees. Countries accused of violating asylum and refugee protections: Greece, Croatia, Hungary, Turkey, Iran, Pakistan, Malaysia, Libya, Sudan, Kenya. The United States has faced criticism under various administrations for turnbacks at ports of entry, rapid expulsions without asylum screening, and sending people to unsafe third countries. I then asked the questions, and I said, okay, so there's international law, right? But who governs international law? Because what is my favorite thing to say about law? Laws only matter if they're enforced. And an enforcement of law is what? There's got to be a consequence for breaking the law, right? So if you're speeding, the enforcement is a speeding ticket, and the consequence of not paying the speeding ticket is the loss of your driver's license after a while if it goes unpaid, right? So I said, what happens to violators of this law? Do countries have to allow asylum seekers to cross their border? Under international law, yes. Countries must allow people to seek asylum. This obligation comes from the 1951 Refugee Convention, the 1967 Protocol, customary international law, and the principle of non-refoulement, the core rule. What exactly is required? Countries must not push back a person to a place where they face persecution, torture, or death, and allow individuals to apply for asylum once they're in the country's territory at its borders. Now, I mentioned, and I asked the question, is there any enforcement of the law? Is there any enforcement of the law? There is no global police force for asylum law. So enforcement is limited. Violators of the law can face international condemnation. What is that? That is glorified finger wagging. How dare you? I think we could deal with that. The UN Human Rights Council criticism, reports from human rights groups. Oh, they're going to write a report.
Oh.
I'll write a report about you.
Strongly worded letter.
Strongly worded letter. Negative press. This is the most common consequence. Oh, what are you going to write? Bad articles that the United States is turning immigrants away? Okay. Write them. Write them. Does that sound like scary consequences to you? Let me ask you a question. Far less serious topic. If you got a speeding ticket, right? And instead of the consequence for your speeding ticket being the eventual loss of your driving privileges, right? You know, you don't pay the speeding ticket. Now there's a warrant and you lose your license. It's suspended. You can't get it back for a certain number of years. If that wasn't the consequence, but the consequence was a strongly worded letter of condemnation, how dare you for speeding and not paying the ticket? But that's where the enforcement and the consequences end. Would you ever pay a speeding ticket again? Because I wouldn't. How about taxes? If the government couldn't come after you for everything, right? Like repossess your things, place liens on your home for not paying your taxes. If instead it was just a nasty letter in the mail being like, you were supposed to do this and you didn't, how dare you? I wouldn't pay him. I wouldn't pay the IRS a dime. So I don't care if we signed on to this treaty agreement in 1951. I think it's time we just say we're not doing it anymore. And well, you're breaking the agreement. Yeah, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? I said, so if there's no real enforcement of international law, why should we follow it on this topic? You're correct that there's no global police force that can compel a country to obey international law. Enforcement relies on a mix of political, economic, and diplomatic pressures, not hard penalties. But countries still generally follow it for several important reasons. Oh, we may lose diplomatic credibility. I don't care. Strained relationships with allies. They're not our allies if they're forcing us to take in people from the third world. Trade consequences. Yeah? We got the tariffs. We're going to make sure that there are no trade consequences. Reduced foreign aid. Well, that sounds fine to me. Nobody gives us anything. We're the ones giving everybody else foreign aid. Legal challenges in international courts. You know what that means? Nothing. Retaliatory policies from other nations. I dare you to try it. You need us more than we need you. I think it's time we just say, we're done. We govern our country. You don't govern our country. We're done. We're done. Quick word from our friends coming up here at goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. And then, We will get the call, 631-527-4545. Get ready, because we're going to be taking your calls as soon as we come back. Here's a message from our friends at Golden Crest Metals.
Hey everybody, Jeremy Harrell here. Look, I want to talk to you a little bit about gold and silver. When I was a kid, I always wondered what Fort Knox must look like. And when I was a kid, I always envisioned that when you would walk into Fort Knox, you would see just gold everywhere, literally raining gold, kind of like what you see behind me right now. Unfortunately, as a grown-up, I don't have that kind of imagination anymore, and I don't even have that much trust that Fort Knox has the 5,000 tons of gold that we're supposed to have there. Meaning that decades ago, we went off the gold standard in this country, which took the value of our dollar down to just mere pennies. And since our federal government doesn't want to go back to a gold standard currency, then it's time to us to take matters into our own hands. Have you ever thought about buying gold and silver? Have you ever thought about taking portions of your IRA or your 401k or your nest egg or your savings and putting it into gold and silver, either all or a portion of it? Have you ever wanted to purchase silver like this in bullion or premium? I know I do. And I know I wanted to take matters back into my own hands, which is why I have worked with Golden Crest Metals to do that. GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA is going to be your go-to, absolutely transparent and trusted partner. Now, you can go to that website, or you can call 888-308-4202. And what the good thing about this is they're going to guide you. They're going to talk to you. They're going to guide you. They're going to give you all the answers to your questions, and there's going to be no hidden fees. It's completely transparent. No hidden fees, no pressure, no surprise markups whatsoever. Clients get to see everything before they purchase. They've even agreed to lower the minimum investment to the LFA audience in order to make sure that everybody has access to this. Free IRA storage, free insured shipping, and a full range of precious metals from gold, silver, palladium, and platinum. And if it's easier for you to just maybe click a QR code, well, guess what? We've got that available for you too. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. Click this QR code on your screen and it'll take you right there. GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA. Again, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA, or call 888-308-4202 today to reach these guys. They're going to be a great partner for you, just as they have been for me, and we absolutely recommend here at LFA TV, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA.
GoldenCrestMetals.com, GoldenCrestMetals.com, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA. We honk our hogs to Golden Crest Metals. There you go. We've got it. We hit Mo at the right time. We are just a short number away from hitting MAGA Mo territory, where we honk our bigger hog. And right now we're taking calls, 631-527-4545, 631-527-4545. The topic of conversation, okay, is asylum. End it or keep it going. See a lot of people in the chat. Some of the Invincibles are here. Hello to all of you. We love to see you. We love to see you, people. You're beautiful people. You're absolutely beautiful people. While we're waiting for those of you to give us a ring at 631-527-4545, I'm going to play this clip about Trump talking about the Somalians that have come into our country as well. That, again, we should just send them away. Get them out. They don't provide anything to this country. I saw somebody arguing on X. No, look, Somalians do A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Good, then some other country could take them, and we will suffer the consequences of not having them in our country. That's fine. I'm totally good. Goodbye. I'm the captain now. You're out. Get out. All right, here we go. Listen to this one. Trump on the Somalian refugees that are here.
What do the Somalians have to do with this Afghan guy who shot the national?
Nothing, but Somalians, of course, a lot of trouble. They're ripping us off for a lot of money. There's a tremendous amount of money going back to Somalia. What the hell are we paying money to Somalia for? But they're ripping off our country at a level that few people have been able to see before. That's about the only thing. You talk about competence. We have Ilhan Omar, who does nothing but complain about our country and our Constitution. And she comes from a country with practically no country. It's devastated, it's crime-ridden, it's a mess, it's a disgrace. And we took their people at a tremendous... We're not taking their people anymore. We're not taking their people. And we're getting a lot of their people out because they're nothing but trouble.
We have to get them out. They're nothing but trouble, is what he says. We're nothing but trouble. They're nothing but trouble, is what he said. about the Somalian refugees that are here. We do have a call coming in, 631-527-4545. And I do believe, if my memory serves me correct, now I don't know where my keys are, but I'm fairly certain that this is the great Matt Brown. Is this Matt Brown on the line?
It is.
There it is. See that?
You see
that? You see that?
How you doing, Sean?
I'm good, Matt. I have no idea where my keys are, but I hope you're having a great day. And at least I know your number when it pops up on the screen. That's good.
Yeah. So I'm 100. Listen, this show today is fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, great job. And
did we lose Matt? Did we lose him? Right after he said I was doing a great job, he's gone.
Lost his thought.
He might have lost his thought. Oh no! Yeah, we did lose him. It disconnected. No. That's not nice. That's not right after he was saying nice things. Matt always says nice things. He's a very nice guy. But try again at 631-527-4545. That's not cool. Let's see if I can get him back. Let's see. Maybe I can call him back and not have this. Oh, you guys don't need to hear that. I'll deal with it. You don't have to hear that. Let's see. I'm trying to call him back. It doesn't look like it's connecting on his Oh, there we go. 4, Matt, are you back with us?
0.
Oh no, it's a voicemail. No.
Oh, this is a disaster. Wow.
Yeah.
Somebody else call.
631-527-4545. There it is. We were close. That's just out of control. All right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but right after he said nice things, it went off. I see somebody else trying to call there. We'll get this one. Hopefully this connection stays. Hey, who do we have on the line here? Hello.
Yo, it's Liberty, brother. How you doing?
What's up, Liberty? How are you?
I'm all right. I do believe that with vetting, complete vetting, one by one, not plane loads, none of this nonsense. Things like TPS, temporary protective status, they're important to have. I mean, there are situations where, people in South Africa, the farmers, people needing medical, where the medical is being covered, not on the taxpayer dime. That's what we also have to make sure of.
Yep, that's a big point.
These people can come here for life-saving care, where they're not overwhelming the system. Again, it's not the flood. It's not the D.C. basement White House run by Barack Hussein Obama. People seem to forget it was Clinton and Obama with their globalist Arab Spring that displaced tens of millions of people.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up. It's interesting you bring that up. Mike Benz was saying the same thing yesterday on X, was basically saying, you got the CIA running these operations in all these countries that are causing all these problems to begin with and forcing, as you mentioned, the displacement. Now, here's my only pushback against, any of these folks that are going to come here. If you're saying life-saving medical care, it's a valid concern. But again, we're at capacity, right? So, I mean, I have no problem bringing them here to get the medical care, but if we don't have room, can they stay? I mean, they're not. You got to understand. TPS is 6 months to 1 year. Period. Okay, but then they got to go after 6 months.
Hallelujah, brother. They are on you like stink on manure, unless the doctors are saying. And again, this should not be on taxpayer dimes.
Sure.
Okay. If the doctors are saying, "Listen, we still don't have them bulletproof, and if we send them home, they're just going to die," and stuff like that happens. I mean. I was doing global disaster response. I've been around. It's like people talk about South Africa. You had some trolls on talking about, in South Africa, there are no school shootings. Right. But having your brother, when the farm is broken into, burned alive to tell these terrorists, burglars, where the safe is, and this is happening to whites in South Africa. But yeah, going back to it. It was Clinton and Obama who created this stuff, as you just said, CIA, USAID, and it was all planned first, and it was Catholic Charities, International Organization of Migration, who flooded them into Europe. Nobody even talks about how many 100,000 people, no lie, drowned in the Mediterranean trying to flee from Middle Eastern countries, because this is the crud that was being financed by the same knuckleheads who are doing the stupidity in Ukraine, with the EU, with NATO. Oh, we have to destroy Russia. We have to destroy Russia.
Well, I'm at the point.
That's
I'm at the point right now with the. I'm at the point right now with the asylum stuff where I hear you and I understand your intentions are like let's help as many people as we can. But when you have when
I'm not
when
saying as many.
No,
Sean,
but I know that. I'm not.
Many.
I know that. What I'm saying is, I don't see room in our country for one more. Right? I don't see. We've got to, at the very least, we've got to get the population of people who have been taken in way down before we start admitting other people into our country, even on TPS, right? Because they always wind up staying longer than 6 months to a year. And what you're describing
they don't always.
A lot of them are. A lot of them are. A lot of them are. And
I got to tell you,
the problem is. Yeah, and that's the issue. So we need a better system than TPS, than to come up with a new system, and it's got to be capped, and we can't even adopt that until we've reverse migrated a bunch of these people out.
We got to get 30 million people who came in illegally out. I don't argue with that at all. What we got to do is get these damn judges impeached and defunded, which means get Congress off their ass.
Yes,
and
Congress has to act.
Wake up, because
Congress has to act.
is coming.
Yep.
2026
Well, I agree.
is coming.
I agree with that.
We got be dead and in Hillary Clinton's re-education camps.
Right. I agree with all that, and I want to fix the judges. I think immigration. I think we need a full stop before we start accepting other people. But I appreciate the conversation, and thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right. There you go. I saw some people in the chat like it was going on too long. I'm having a discussion, guys. I want to hear other points of view. I don't want us to be just an echo chamber.
I have a thought about that. I said it in the chat already. The people that are in this country already that don't get medical care should probably get that before random foreigners that possibly need medical care too. Like, that's just a thought. We have people here that need stuff.
How many times was Bernie? Health care is a human right. Human right. But our people aren't getting... a
lot of people here that need help that don't get it.
And he brought up a point, not funded by the taxpayer, for the people that are coming into our country, not funded by the taxpayer. But, this is what, America first, right? Americans first, citizens first. And I get it. I get wanting to help. I do.
And organizations you can donate to,
and
that you can help.
And he's not a bad guy. I don't want anybody to think that the previous caller just said let them invade, because that's not what he said.
No,
at all. I'm a little more further on than that, at least for the time being. We got to get these people out, and the judges are a major problem. Absolute major problem. I like that type of call, and I invited that type of call at the beginning of the show. I said, if you feel differently, give me a call and try and get through. And we had a conversation. What? It's 10 o'clock. Oh, okay. All right, here we go. We got to go. Jeremy Harrell is up. There is MAGA Mo. Jeremy Harrell up next right here on rumble.com/LFA TV. As President Trump says, we will never give up, we will never give in, and we will never, ever surrender. If all else fails, we'll just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Kind of rushing through the end. I didn't realize the time it was. Have a great rest of your weekend. See you on the Rumble Rundown tomorrow, and we'll be back on Monday. Same time, same place, rumble.com/LFA TV, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Enjoy your leftovers. Enjoy your weekend. And as President Trump says, thank you for your attention to this matter. Jeremy Harrell up next. We'll see you Monday.